Hello and welcome to the player interview with Bradley Central Football. I'm Gwen Shroyer along with Aiden McClary, quarterback extraordinaire. Aiden, good to have you on the program today. I know we are getting ready to play this dynamically crazy game against Cleveland. I say crazy because it has always meant so much to both sides of the community.
Sure.
Always in a good positive review. I think both sides this year, it seemed like outstandingly have kind of kept it civil. I've seen some gnashing a little bit on Twitter, but not so much from the players. I think players understand this is a football game and you play it out on the field.
Yeah.
Let's go back though, instead of talking about Cleveland right away, because what's really cool about this is you had an extraordinary option to jump in with both feet in the middle of a game and seriously make a difference and then continue to do that. So let's go back to first couple weeks of football and what that meant for you to be called on, go in, jump in, and play right away.
Yeah, so I started out on the defensive side. I played safety, and I think it was maybe the second quarter. Javen ended up going down, and I'd been working in practice, so I guess they had trust in me, and I felt like we did all right. We just didn't get the outcome that we wanted. But
Sure, yeah. And that, what, 4 or 5 point difference in the game total?
Yes,
but
sir.
One of the best things about that game is we got to learn a little bit about you under pressure, under center, under the dynamic physical playing on offense that we normally only got to see glimpses of. Kind of a cleanup role at times, but we were really fixated. I say we. I'm talking about everybody that was watching that game that wasn't playing. Fixated on how masterfully you came in calm, and maybe you weren't. Maybe you were jumpy, jittery, whatever. But it seemed like you had a really calm perspective. This is how we do things. I'm going to show you how I manage the game, and I'm going to give you my best. And I think that, first Farragut game, yeah, you're right, didn't get the outcome that we wanted. And I would not say due to anything other than just, a few outplayed measures, and love to have that game over.
Yeah.
And another thing that really didn't seem to cripple you is I don't think Javen didn't really show how hurt he was. I didn't see that on the sideline. In fact, I even asked and I got no answer from anybody, which I'm like, I understand. He's a student here and this isn't, whatever. But I wanted to know. And he just kind of played calm. Maybe he was telling some other people, no, I'm really bad. I don't know. But when it came to you, you just had a sense of urgency and this is how we're going to play. And you jumped in. And I saw the respect coming from the other students, which put my mind at ease really quickly. Okay, he's played this before. He knows his role. He's moving the ball. He's trying a few things that he's being asked to and coached up. And I just thought, with all due respect, I thought you were the finest player on the field in that situation. So
Thank you.
It was great. Then we got to see your role play in the next couple weeks. And I'm not going to measure stats. I'm not, I don't want to do that. I just thought the way you handled the game, it was your game. And tell me what that looked like from inside the helmet.
Well, I mean, Walker Valley, they're a pretty big rival to us, and coming in as my first actual start at quarterback, I just felt like we had to just stick to our game plan that the coaches gave us, and I think we did a good job at that. So
outstanding job. So you did say you played on the defense. You started at safety.
Sure.
Were you free safety, strong safety, or do you have kind of a closing?
Mainly just free safety. We really kind of rolled down to both sides, so it's not really a free and a strong safety. But.
Okay. So on that attribute, I didn't mean to state that you weren't starting, but looking from a safety, point of view, it's a whole lot different than trying to think plays and modes and options and here's what's going on against this particular defense. Was there ever a consideration that you're going to play both sides of the ball, or once you were into that quarterback role, that was it?
Well, I think that was Coach Floyd's plan. But I mean, I wanted to play defense, but I understand that we can't really have many more injuries. So
yeah. Well, I thought you handled it well. I thought the Bearden game, that seemed to me where you kind of really commanded the field. And obviously the Ottawa game was wonderful to watch. I really only saw one shutdown on offense that I thought, but then you turned it on. So skillful. We're looking at the total 45-7 and scoring every single quarter. I mean, second quarter was just beautiful though. That was really fun. It seemed like you knew how to spread it out. I remember the phenomenal Javon, just, I don't even remember how many yards that was, if I have that, whatever it was, but it was just, that was so much fun to watch, and he just, put on the burners. And he mentioned one time talking to him that he thought he was going to get tackled, past 30 yards from the scrimmage, but he just put on the jets and showed what speed does.
Yeah.
So it's got to be fun to have that kind of staff to throw to and pitch the ball to, and we've had even a change role in halfback, managing that. And I've seen you scamper. You had a pretty good run in the Ottawa game. That was,
Thank you.
so much fun to watch too. So how do you manage yourself like that? I know you're thinking, got to stay healthy, protect what you got a great offensive line. It's not just the running game, it's the protection on the passing too. So I know you have to give a lot of esteem to who's surrounding you and got your backside.
Yeah.
But how do you mentally prepare in a setup like that?
Well, we got a bunch of skilled players. I mean, we're all around, we're skilled, and if I do have to end up leaving the pocket, I just get what I can get. Usually, coaches kind of tell me to get out of bounds. So. Yeah.
There was a moment in that Ottawa game, and you scrambled out, and I mean, you were kind of loose and twisty and gaining yards, and I thought, it reminded me, and I'll give my age, I'm 54 years old. I was thinking, that's Roger Staubach, man. You don't want to see him move out of the pocket. You want to have him that maintain, but that looked like an effective scramble to me. And maybe you were making it out of nothing. I don't exactly remember the play, but I just love the poise that you put in the pocket. And if you got to go, you got to go. And you know how to check down to whatever you're wanting to do in a moment's notice. Seemed pretty skilled to me, pretty crafty, and definitely like you've been doing this for a while. Where's all this coming from?
I just go out there and play, I guess. There's a lot of times in practice that we practice just rolling out and making throws on the run. So, I mean, I guess the coaches really helped me do that.
That's awesome. Now let's talk about your family. I know your dad over here teaching, your mom. Tell me about the foundation of athletics, because you don't just play football. You play other sports, and
Yes, sir.
I don't even know how many other sports you're playing. I know you've played, some other, but what is that like, growing up in a family where athletics is pretty cool?
Well, my dad, he played basketball his whole life, and he's just really athletic. My mom was also competitive cheerleader, so she can do some pretty cool stuff. And they just always raised me to play hard and just say everything I do, give it all my all.
Nice. I think a lot of your dad. He seems very calm and cool. Reminds me of you when you're out there on the field. I think, what would I be like if I was a quarterback? I'd be going nuts. I'd be, trying to assimilate things in my head while it's going on. I don't know if there's time for that. It seemed like you got this pace, and you've figured some things out. You obviously got some good coaches, cueing you in, and some other players around you. Does that come from your dad or your mom, or?
Both of my parents are pretty chill. They don't really freak out about too much stuff. So I guess it's just a little bit of both.
So brothers and sisters?
I have two little sisters. One of them goes here and she plays softball. She's pretty athletic, and my other little sister, she's in 6th grade now, and she's going to be a cheerleader.
Okay. So the only brother. Wow.
Yep.
They got to look up to that. That's pretty cool. So tell me, I know we're not trying to blow stats out of the water, but obviously when you go into a week like this, you have to have something in your head like, okay, I know I'm going to check off. I'm going to try to throw 25 passes in this game, or, well, I don't even know what your number is. Or, you've got a certain amount of plays, or I'm going to, work on this run game. We're going to option out on an RPO or whatever, pass, run, play offense you guys, set up. What is your mindset in being prepared for that? Do you have like a playbook? Do you sit down and digest? You watch film? You talk through it with the coach? You got players obviously running through practices, or is it just all of the above?
Well, I mean, pretty much everything that you just mentioned. Our coaches sit down and watch film with us. Just really, they harp on us to take what we can get, not just try to take all the big plays. Just
Sure.
anything that we
Chunk
can
it
get.
out.
Yeah, and then just a bunch of film study on our own as well. Just knowing what they're going to do and their tendencies.
Well, I got to say, when you have two receivers like Burke and Hall, I mean, that's a luxury knowing that also behind you, you've got a couple backs that could do anything, and either one of them too. And I mean, you have quite the luxury of an offense, plus your line. I mean, Carter Howard running out. I saw him line up probably 10 times, maybe a dozen at wide. What is up with that? I know maybe he's drawn, somebody big, so you got an open. I don't know, but I also saw you throw to him out there across the middle a couple times, and he caught a remarkable pass. I thought was, pretty groundbreaking in the series of plays, because I think it opened up from a 3rd and long to a 1st down, and having people like that to work with. That's pretty amazing.
It helps a lot. We got 2 guys that can, I'd say, outrun a lot of people in the state.
And look like they're just having the best time. I mean,
Yeah.
I look at Cannon, and it's not just his celebration style. He is just like, he's just having a great time. It's so much fun.
Yeah. And then Carter Howard, he's just a big target, and he's going to catch the ball. He may not be as fast as those guys, but he's going to get some yards by running through people.
He is definitely, yeah. Well, man, I'm just so blessed to be a part of this, even if I'm not coaching or playing. Being here at Bradley and knowing that you guys have, a good thing going. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of the legacy that you're setting up for continuing the Bradley thing. I love that your, mom and dad, been around here, and now you say you got a sister coming up, so we have that to look forward to. So congratulations. Thanks for being a part of Bradley. Thanks for doing what you need to do on the field and beforehand, and making us all proud. So get out there and do that well against Cleveland this week for us, for yourself, for your teammates. I know this rivalry thing, it gets all mustered up, but it's just another game. It just so happens to be about our community, and who gets to take it, afterwards, take it home and say, we won this year. What does that mean for you? I know you guys, talk through Cleveland this, Cleveland that, but that's like brotherhood. You know these guys. You probably played in games with them on the same team, a lot of them.
Yeah, most of us, we kind of grew up together. One of their best players, he's basically, he's lived with me, and we're brothers.
Yeah,
and we're always going to be brothers, but once we step on the field, we both kind of realize that it's game time.
It is game time.
And we're not going to be friends like when we're afterwards. So.
Yeah, well, thanks for being what you do and making it happen here. Thanks for taking on the skill and presenting it well on the field. Thank you very much. And I think the whole community at large can understand what you represent is quality, and it's measured in consistency. I know that's the main thing Coach talks about, is consistent. Be consistent, do it well, be consistent. And I think you're doing a great job of that.
Thank you.
Well, that's all we have for this particular show. I'm Gwen Shroyer, along with Aiden McClary, our Player of the Week interview. And what he's going to do this weekend, we'll just have to talk about it next week. Until then, I'm Gwen Shroyer, and God bless, and go Bears.